Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. Now in this video I want to show you quite a cool technique that I've been using to find niches and other competitors' keywords. Now I did a shorts video a few days ago which sort of briefly outlined this method, but I want to go into it a bit more detail for you so you can understand it and maybe sort of do what I've been doing. Now, before we get on to that, if you've not been here before, my name's Paul Marles. I do videos on how to make it, keep it and grow it, and that's your money I'm talking about. And if you do like videos like that, then please do give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell to receive notifications of when I produce more videos like this. So to start off, you need a book that's published on Amazon, and then you need to run an Amazon ads campaign. Now this needs to be an auto ads campaign because we want Amazon to pick books that it thinks are related to your niche that your published books in. So what happens is, as we've got here, we've got all this data. Now this is a data for the last 28 days, so about 4 weeks. Now it depends on how popular your niche is and how many impressions the books that are related to your niche are getting, to how long that you run this little technique for. Because if it's a niche that's really popular and you're getting, those books that are related to your books are getting loads of impressions, then you might not need to run it for that long. It may only need to be a week or 2 weeks. But in this case, this is about 4 weeks. And these are all the books that are related, or Amazon thinks are related, to a book that I'm running auto ads on at the moment. Now, this is in sort of a ledger, a bill planning type ledger book that I've got advertised, and it's one of my most favourite areas to create books. A lot of my books, or a lot of my books that are making money, are in those sort of business type logbooks. So we've got all the books here that my book has been appearing on as a sponsored ad, and there's quite a few. And if we were to scroll down and go to the next couple of pages, we'd also get the keywords. Now what the interesting thing is that next to the books we've got this column here of impressions, and it's telling us how many impressions our book has been getting on this particular book where it's being listed as a sponsored ad. So if we're getting lots of impressions, it also means that that book is getting lots of impressions, and it can throw up some quite surprising results. Now what I do is look down the impressions list and look at those books that are getting lots of impressions and see if any stand out. Well, there's these two here that are just over 4,000 or well over 4,000 impressions over the last 28 days. And if we scroll down a bit further, we've got this one here, 3,395, and then this one here, 8,883. Now, what you might find is that these books are in a different niche to your book. Amazon thinks they're related, but they could actually be in a different niche. So straight away, you're getting some different niche ideas. And also, if you look down this list of books, there's quite a few books that are in different niches to the one that I've listed. So again, this could go into my kind of swipe file, if you like, to look at in future for ideas for books that are being sold or being viewed a lot on Amazon. So if we were to take a look at this one that's got 8,883 views or impressions over the last 28 days, you can see that our click-through rate is actually 0.27%, which is very low. And in fact, I think about a week ago, I stopped, I put this book, this ASIN number, as a negative targeting ASIN number because I was getting all these impressions, I was getting clicks, but no sales, and it was a very low click-through rate. And that's because the design and the niche is different to the book that I listed as an ad. So we've got the idea for the niche. Now if we take a look at this book, we can see it's been sold for $6.95, so they're making about $1.85 on it. But this is the important information I want to look at down here, not necessarily the book. I mean, I've taken the title and used that as an idea for a niche in my swipe file. Now this book's got a bestsellers rank of 14,533. Now if we put this into book sales calculator, it says that it's making sales of approximately 273 a month. Now I know from my books, because I've got quite a few books that are in that range of bestsellers ranks around the 10 to 15,000 mark, that this figure is very low, and it's probably more like double that. So this book is making approximately probably $600 to $1,000 a month, which is not bad for one book. Now if we just go back to the book, also what I do is take a note of the categories that this book is listed in, because this book has actually got a bestsellers rank little orange badge, and in fact it could potentially, you know, there's 3 ways it could get that bestsellers rank here, because it's listed in these 3 categories with a #1 ranking, and that's what entitles you to get that orange bestsellers badge, which is fantastic for sales. It tracks customers to click on your book, and it just makes your book stand out from all the rest that's on Amazon. So these give you ideas for those categories, and it may be, you know, a category that you could consider listing, because this is not bad, because they're getting the #1 spots with a ranking of 14,533. So it shows you that these categories, there's not a lot of competition in them to get that #1 spot. So make a note of those. Now this is where it gets really interesting. So what I do is use a tool on the Helium 10 platform called Cerebro. Now to subscribe to this particular module alone costs $37 a month. You can pay for a whole package of all the different modules you've got, and the 2 that are most relevant to us as no content, low content but publishers are Cerebro and the Magnet 2 module as well. That's more of a traditional keyword research tool, but you can pay for a package, or you can pay for individual modules, or you can use this for free, but it only gives you, I think it's 2 searches per day. Now you may say, well, that's not a lot, but actually it is quite a lot for the amount of information it gives. It gives you more than enough information that you could use each day. So what you can do is copy the ASIN number, put it into this space here, click on the exact ASIN match, and then click on Get Keywords. And what it does is called a reverse ASIN search, and it gives us all the keywords that this book is ranking for on Amazon. So it's almost like spying on a competitor and finding out what their best keywords are, because over here on the right hand side it gives us what position on Amazon this book is ranking for that particular keyword. Now we know that the higher you rank on Amazon, the more chance you're going to get the traffic, and more chance you're going to get those sales. So really what we are interested in are those keywords that a book is ranking for that's giving it those high rankings, because that's where all the traffic's coming from. So it's giving us this information. It's telling us that, say for instance here, monthly budget planner, it's ranking #1 for that. So there's a good chance it's getting a lot of traffic from that keyword. So now we can look at all the keywords that this book is ranking for highly, and we can use these ourselves in ways of coming up with titles, keywords in the subtitles, and also keywords in the 7 keyword boxes as well. It's really invaluable information. And there's all these other metrics that it gives us as well, like the search volume on Amazon per month and the number of competing products. So what we want ideally is that the search volume to be high and the competing products to be low, which gives us a real good chance of getting our book ranked on Amazon. Now, one of my favourite things is, when it comes to competing products, having search results of 1,000 or less, because I've found from my experience that if the search results are 1,000 or less, there's a good chance of getting your book ranked on that first page. I mean, ideally we want to be at #1, 2, 3 or 4, but the higher up the better. But even on that first page, you've got a good chance of making sales, because customers, when they do a search and get the search results, like to browse. It's a bit different than, say, on Google, where like the #1 spot gets 40% of the traffic. On Amazon, the #1 spot will get a lot of traffic, but it won't get as much traffic as, say, 40%. Because, like going into a normal, traditional shop and business, people like to browse, and they like to do that on Amazon because they're in that shopping mindset. Whereas Google, He's not just shopping, it's, you know, it's finding out information. So we could go down here and pick out keywords that are relevant to our book, that are getting high searches and have low competing products. And actually Cerebro makes it a little bit easier because they give us this Cerebro IQ score, and the higher number means that the search volume as a proportion of the competing products is high. Now, to make life even more simple, you can just click on this box here. It ticks all the keywords, and then you can just add it to a sort of custom keyword list here, give the folder a name, and then save it to that particular folder. So you've got all the keywords there that you can then go and, you know, download as a spreadsheet file and open it, and, you know, get all those keywords listed in terms of the ones that have a high search volume. But I would probably, I mean, for this particular book, there's absolutely loads. I mean, look at this page here, there's 50 keywords that this book's ranking for in positions 1 and 2. So these are, you know, really valuable type keywords. And yeah, I would go through and pick out some with a high search volume, a low competing products. I mean, this one here looks good, although it looks weird, that keyword. We'll forget that one for the moment. But I would probably just go down the competing products first of all, find the figures that are 1,000 or less, and then look at the keyword and see what it's like. I mean, this one looks quite a good one here. Debt planner. I mean, it's not getting huge numbers of search volumes per month, but, you know, the competition is quite low. Good chance of ranking there. And don't forget, these books don't take weeks and weeks and months to create. So you can actually, you know, create maybe a few different books in different niches, targeting these different keywords. Now this one looks easy. This is a long keyword: budget book, monthly bill organizer with pockets. Probably not relevant to the type of books we're selling. But let's have a quick look down, see if I can find a real gem here. Bill Tracker 2020. That looks quite good. Decent number of searches, not much competition. Why not think about a Bill Tracker 2021? There's one. It's a free one for you. Get in there now with something like that. Get in there early. And actually, a lot of books, you can take advantage of the year, because people do search with years, even in things like these types of books. So there you go. So from this little technique, we've found out some books that are getting a lot more impressions than we'd probably find out by just doing normal research. So we're getting ideas for niches that are being searched for and being found quite frequently. We're getting ideas for categories, and then we can get all those keywords that we know that customers are searching for and that for books are ranking highly with. And, you know, it just helps you move towards getting success and getting sales with your books. So that's it for today. That's a technique that I have been using with success. It works. You get your books listed and you make those sales. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. But make sure you do hit the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and until next time, goodbye.